meeting to order. Okay, please.
Father in heaven, thank you so much for this day you blessed us with. Thank you for keeping us safe during the cold weather, the storm. And Lord, we just pray that you be with us all here tonight. Be with all of the linemen that are out working to restore power to all of our neighbors. And Lord, we love you so much. In Jesus' name, amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
I have Wendell Vanderhoort.
Here.
I have Laura Wagner absent. I have Mayor John Krasuski,
Here.
Punky Stevenson,
Here.
and Marie Anderson.
Here. I recognize all the guests. That's what I'm supposed to do. Glad to see you here. Shoot, we don't even have to. Well, there's approval of the agenda. We don't have to approve the agenda for
No,
emergency meetings?
it's just always David, yeah. If there's something new or something, but there's not.
Okay, we'll start up. Old business. Council to discuss alley electrical upgrades. You guys wanted to know a thing or two about what, why, when, where. We approved at one of the meetings in the past, well, the last meeting, I think, to get it while we could. The alley that's in dilapidated condition and has been for many, many years and been ignored. And with the recent events, winter storm events, the electrical department came pleading to me, and I agree with them, that we're in rough shape there, very dangerous shape. We had some outages over Christmas that really was a close call, and I think we all understand right now Howell County, as well as several other counties here and in Arkansas, are going through the same thing again. Not because of theirs is dilapidated, just from an act of God, but at the same time ours is dilapidated. We can do something about the dilapidation. We can't do anything about the act of God. So we've seen it in the best interest of the city to get bids back in October to upgrade the alley, and we have all the parts, and they were going to upgrade by using their contracting labor and equipment, machines. And then we got the 4 bids. The lowest bid we've chosen was for Scobie. We didn't act on it right away for a lot of concerns, a lot of reasons, a lot of concerns, mostly money, finances. And we had that scare at Christmas, so we all, in the electrical side of things, decided we've got to do something. We've got to find a way, because we can't wait. It's not something we can just wait around and say, if this happens, if that happens. It's not a question of if, it's when it'll happen, period, when. So it always happens. Things that we let go will happen at the worst possible time, when we are, got our pants down, or whatever you call that, but you know how that goes. And we revisited, I revisited the lowest bidder, which would be Scobie Power, and Scobie, what's his name, Gail Scobie, as a matter of fact, and I talked to him about if he would still honor his proposal, because this day and age, the proposals are 30 days, and you're lucky if you can get one to stay that long. And not only was he lowest bidder, but he agreed that if we agreed on something by February, I believe, or January 10th, the last meeting. So last meeting, January 10th?
Yeah, I believe so.
Around there, and he gave us till the 10th, and our meeting was on 13th, I think. So we stretched it a little, and at the meeting we did decide that we should do something with it, and do something with him as long as we did have financing in place. I know that was our big concern, or tentative financing in place. And Scobie offered, fantastic offer. He's not looking for a down payment. He says, get it to me within the year, and he'll be happy as long as he gets paid. That's all he cares. He didn't need it right away. So that was good. It gives us a little time, gives us a little budget room. So in the meantime, I not only was asked to go ahead and tell him we do want him to go forth with it, but I went ahead with the financial side of it and visited with our electrical supplier, MPUA, and a man named Ken Reason. Wait a minute, I should have that here.
It's on the front of the email that I gave you copies of.
Reasoner, yeah.
Yeah, Reasoner. I
Was it
attached
Ken
the
Reasoner?
email to it also.
I got something in mind here. Hold on. Yeah, Ken Reasoner from MPUA. He verbally at the time assured me we will get financing, that's not a problem. It'll all go out to bid and it'll be up to us to choose who finance, what bank institution will finance it at what interest and at what length of time, et cetera. So in the meantime, he put together there's a letter, RST or something like that. I don't know why I don't have that with me.
I gave it to you.
But it's a request for a bid, RFB maybe, or a RFP, request for proposal.
Yeah, it's this one here.
There you go, request for proposal.
The front of it
Here
in
it
pink
is.
says Alley Electric.
Do we have a bunch of these? Oh, for some reason I got a bunch of them. Okay, that just confused me. And they're sending that out to banking institutions, including our own local bank, that requested to be on there, to be considered in there. And they assured me as late as today that there will not be any problem with financing. We'll get financing, 20-year plan. I was guessing, we don't have an amortization schedule, but I was guessing around $1,500 tops a month would be high, but I like to go higher than lower, not be head in the clouds. And that's where that sits right now. And financially, for that $1,500 to take a gamble at letting that alley go, any extra days, let alone months or a year, would be insane. It'd be completely insane. That alley, the electrical system in it is so bad off that it'd be a major catastrophe. Half of the town would be out. We have to beg, borrow, steal, whatever, but luckily we don't have to. We have a very good avenue, very competitive, non-taxable interest, et cetera. We'll have I think we'll have a real good package by the time it's all done. We have another 60 days to do that. We'll probably need a resolution here in the next 30 days. Well, not probably, we will. It's not mandatory legally, but we will do it just to keep all our bases covered. We will have a resolution saying that we want that, everything that we're doing right now is good. And that has a look-back period of 60 days, so we're safe. We checked with the NPUA lawyers on that to make sure that we were safe and not doing this and getting in trouble or jumping ahead of the game. So if you guys have any questions on it, I would entertain them.
I guess my biggest question is, they're gonna put this out for bid, and where I'm really dragging my feet is I had Shannon print up some figures of where we stood and money-wise in the city. And I really don't want my name tied to breaking the city. If we don't get this, how are we gonna pay for it? If we don't get the loans?
Well,
And nobody, I'm not seeing, word of mouth's good, but I would like to see something that, hey, they're gonna give us 100% guarantee, they're gonna give us a loan. Because if we do it and we don't get the loan, then we're gonna be in big trouble.
I got two answers to that. One is that no institution will or can guarantee us that we'll get a loan, even up to the last day. But we're riding on reputation of our electrical supplier. And they tell us that they're gonna get it for us, and go ahead, do it. Don't diddle daddle, get it done. Get that alley in shape. They're the ones that supply us with power. They're not gonna leave us hanging. Okay, that's the first thing, that's a good guarantee. And I talked to them, like I said today, they're going out to all their bidders. And they're financial institutions. Simmons Bank is one of them. And they said, by all means, they're getting on it. They're giving us the loan, there's no doubt. If we pick them as the lowest bidder, we got it. I talked to Steve Banks today. And there's a question of whether we'll be getting a loan or not. The question will be our decision on the interest rate, who we pick, what institution, and how long it'll go for. And I forgot the other half already for that question. Oh, financially, in a in our thing. We did the Jacks Fork Community Foundation and Mount View Resources and Development. I was at those meetings recently, and they agreed to do several things for us to help us out along the way, and one of which was $7,500 reimbursement for what we paid to that Pomona,
Industrial Park,
say it again?
the Pomona Industrial Park.
The Pomona Industrial Park, which was great on their part.
Yeah.
And that 7,500 gives us a little breathing room, especially since we have a lot of time. We have 60 days. This is all coming in at 30. We have 60. And we don't even have but we have a year to come up with financing because the bidder, Gail Scobie, said he'll be happy if he gets paid in a year. So we have time to get financing even if this didn't go through. But Simmons assured me that if all the other banks are way high and going out shooting for the sky, that they'll make sure they're gonna help us out. So I'm not even worried about that. There's no reason to worry. The worry part, and it does keep me up because I am electrically educated from way back. I read a book once, and that alley is scary. That alley is just, it's a domino farm set up, ready to go. And being electricity, it's so unpredictable, and being acts of God that are unpredictable, we can't just sit around and say, well, it's not broke, don't fix it. Well, it doesn't work when it comes to that. It's gonna go down. When it does, we'll be scrambling. We'll have half the town out. We'll have $1 million worth of men and crew here, you know, and we'll be scrambling trying to find money to pay that.
At that point, that would be an emergency, and then there's other programs designed for emergencies
Yep, you're
that
right.
will be granted and other things. Right now, we're looking at I've got a couple of things for this, and even by his email and stuff here, because I don't have anything else in writing as far as from Scobie or anything, but he's telling by his email that we're not even going to accept bids until February the 14th. That has me worried on two things. I don't like, because I've dealt with it as far as for at home, it's be like, okay, tax money comes in April 15th, we can spend all this money up to April 15th and hope that our tax is covered. And with him setting dates and stuff that are here, that are hardballed, it's almost like, yeah, we need to wait till that date to make anything, period.
No, that date, that deadline is for the institutions.
Correct.
To get it into us, and that's as quick as he could get it. He wanted to get it quicker, he'd love to have it tomorrow. But he has to give them so many days legally. Because it's non-tax or something, whatever you call it. We have to go according to the big rules. We can't just go and get a loan tomorrow and get it done. But basically, no, he doesn't have a problem. There is no deadline because Scobie is the one that would make the deadline. And they honored their proposal at that price from back in October without raising the price. That's the only deadline we would have had. He gave us a year. So all we need is to find financing, and they're doing it legal channels, giving everybody, institutions, the amount of time it takes.
But that's telling me we're not even gonna know what that is until the 14th when they submit all those financing institutions and stuff.
Right.
So for me, that would be the guarantee.
Well, there is no guarantee. There's no guarantee that anything's, there's no guarantee. It's, the things where we could miss out on is something going wrong and not getting it fixed, and emergency funds is not what we can rely on, because they can have 30 crews in there, we'll still be out of power for a week. I mean, that side of town, not only the businesses, but the entire side of town, all the residences, will be out of power for a week. And spring weather will be the one that gets us. I want to get that safely as we can by spring.
You said we have all the, he's basically gonna be providing the crew and the trucks, that we've got everything else within, in-house.
Yes.
So my question would be, if that's all he's providing is the crew and the trucks, and we've got everything in-house,
would he let us hold off till this, we're guaranteed something on that financing?
He waited and held his price from October till now,
But
until February.
yeah.
Okay.
But what I'm thinking is, just my thought process. If he's supplying the trucks and the crews and stuff, and I know this price is, he's held it, but will it go up substantially till we get funding for it?
Substantially is a question, I've had estimates of 50,000 minimum raise, because all the other bidders said, like one of them was at 300 something, and said, there's no way you'd get it anywhere close to that, you'd be lucky to stay under 400. That's the only one I talked to that told me how much they would raise their rates. Because all the wages, et cetera, went up January 1st, so they boosted everything up, you know how that goes. And the equipment, you can't buy a truck for $100,000 today. Everything, it's just ridiculous.
If they don't
No.
have a truck, they're not gonna have a truck. It took us 2 years.
No,
to
I'm just
get a
saying the
truck.
prices and stuff.
Yeah.
Everything, the price just went up so bad, and he held it, not only being a little bidder, even when we had Kiowa in here doing all the other work, they they gave us a decent price at the time, which was what, 2 or 3 years ago? And their price for that, for the exact same thing they're doing, just labor and equipment, was $270,000. And we had at that time set aside $270 for that, and then we killed it because we said we weren't spending it on that.
If we have everything in-house, then we're not gonna see a substantial raise in supplies. It's just gonna be
We have the supplies,
the labor.
right? We're not worried about supplies, it's just equipment and labor. It's just a question of the interest rate. Really, that's the only thing. Like I said, Steve himself told me today that one way or another, they're gonna get the finance to us because all the other institutions are competing for it. And he said they might not be the lowest, maybe the other ones will be the lowest, and we'll pick them. That's fine too. But if we are, that's great. If they are lower, we save money. But that's the only question, what's the interest rate? That's the only question we have, is the gamble of the interest rate. It's not whether we get financing, it's the interest rate. Because we don't know right now what the industry standard is going to do in the next 30 days.
What is Scobie's deadline now for this price?
Oh, they're putting it together, they're getting ready. They're putting it on their schedule it in, so as soon as they're ready, they're on it.
What is their deadline for this bid though? Because we've already been
It
told
was,
now.
the
I know
deadline
we're
was.
already, that one expired.
Right. Yeah, and you guys told me, provided we get possible financing in to go for it. And after talking to MPUA, I locked it in. And that was after the last meeting, and said, yeah, we're gonna take it one way or another. We're gonna get it, and we're gonna go. Because his deadline was up. His deadline was up on 10th, actually. But if you reread some of the old minutes, we did say to go for it, and it was a wise move. If I felt we could get good financing, and I don't just feel it, I know we'll get it. There's no question in my mind. And even then, finances, like I said, it really was averaging 1,200 to 1,500 a month. So 1,500 a month, just one little fault there. Shoot, the other night, it probably cost us $500 to go trim a little branch off of a tree on the corner of Maple and 4th Street last night. You know, one little thing is all it takes. And here we've got $1 million worth of damage overnight, and probably could go down in 30 seconds or less, and leave everybody without power. So it's not a if, it's a when. And I also talked to Mike Matthews. He looked over it for me, and he said he's surprised it's lasted this long. It shouldn't have lasted anywhere near this long. But right now, it's just a miracle that it stands up there. And if that's the only problem we have is the interest rate over whether we keep the town powered up or not on that side, there's nothing more to decide. It's an easy no-brainer. And I wouldn't be for it. Otherwise. I want to get 10% commission.
It's just a hard gamble for me look at our finances and gamble that we're gonna get financing. And I know they say, well, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, but there's always that small possibility that we don't get it.
I'll get it, there's no doubt, if we had to, I could go private and get it, that's not a big deal. Just that we'd have to do it legally, and I don't know the right legal ways to get it privately. But going through them, we're doing it the right way, and we'll get the accordingly.
And I totally agree with you. It's, you know, it's been on the agenda since I was back in council many years ago with that alley. And we'd even talked about seeing if we could get it underground. But I don't know if that was even a possibility anymore or not, but
I'm not sure they know. We've got a heck of a deal, and timing is of the essence, and nothing's gonna go lower. Rebidding it's gonna go higher, interest is gonna go higher, and the chance of it falling is gonna go skyrocket as well. You know, everything's working against us. The only question is the interest rate. It's not there is no other question. And the interest rate, nobody's gonna scald us because it's a competitive market. They have to compete for it, for our business. They're sending it out to all these institutions, so I highly recommend we just follow through with it and get it done, and don't throw the dice.
What projects are we going to stop or postpone until we can see as far as finances come back up to the city? Because right now, every project that we've got has been overbid. The electric department just put in a huge line to connect the east and the west to update a power shortage on one side as far as low voltage.
We had materials in stock again, and we had a lot of materials in stock luckily on the electrical department anyway. And
I
there's no
think
real,
that we did that in-house.
yes, yeah. And there's no real project we have that is going where we're shelling out money right now, or going over or anything.
Well, we got the pool, we know that's over.
We're, not really, it's not over. It's not over. Pool's not over budget. No, heck no. We've got 240,000 and 240,000, 240 in the bank, 240 in a loan, I mean, not loan, grant, and then another 60 coming from Missouri State Parks that we don't have it in-house, but it's already got okayed along the way. Everybody says that you're gonna get that 60. And 60 of which we're probably getting close to at least half of it right now, in kind. So the pool is not over budget. There's nothing over budget there right now, and I don't foresee it either. I think we've got that under control mainly because of
Well, we had to do a lot of changes because of off the original bid, it almost doubled.
and we got it down.
We've got the project that sits right out here that they're already estimating will double.
He didn't say double. Matt said with the changes he's made there, it'll cut it back to where he thinks we can keep it under the 800 and some thousand. I don't believe it either. I don't think any of you would believe that either, the way prices are. So I don't know about what's gonna happen there. That would be hard for me to predict, but he insists with the changes he made, it could come in under, I mean, not under, but at the bid, but I don't know about that. But I'd be throwing the dice there. Be lying if I said it.
so if that comes in way over bid, can we scrap that project?
If it comes in way over bid, we can't afford it. We can't. We'd be scrapping for some kind of financing. We'd be doing the same thing, trying to look for some kind of financing to do it. We don't have the money to do it if it comes over bid.
If we scrap that project, will we be fine with our grant people on applying for grants?
Don't know, that's a gray area. Some
Because I
people
mean,
before.
if it's way over bid, then we'll be
Then,
accepted.
right,
It
it's
should
not,
be-
it's not under, if we decide we don't want it, if it was
Yeah.
under, at the right price, then yes, we're gonna get blackballed.
Yeah.
But if it comes in over bid and they can't help us enough, if they can't find other funding, then no, they can't hold that against us.
And we're kinda gonna have to be careful with that anyway, since we're in such dire straits as far as what we're doing financially, because all these grants have us come up with so much money. If we haven't got the money, then, what do?
There is help around. There are other organizations in town that have volunteered to help. They asked me to go ahead and I didn't, it would go through you guys first, but to look into any kind of grants we can get that the Jack's Fork Community Foundation and Mountain View Resource and Development. I was at their meeting, and they told me that if we get anything like that, they're usually $25,000 copay from the city, and they insist they'll cover it to help us out if we try to get any of those grants. So further grants, we at least have something, seed money, promised to us by a dependable organization. So it's not like we're stifling ourselves to where we can't do anything, not tying our hands up, and especially not tying our hands up with $1,500 a month.
So what's the quickest that we can find out if we've got financing for the alley?
Say it again?
What is the possibility?
February 14th is what I see as a date there.
Oh, the students?
Yes.
Yeah, it'll take that 30 days for them to get their
So
bids in.
my question is, if it's gonna take, you said February 14th, that we will know definitely whether we got funding or not?
And, well, you see, I don't believe it works, it can work that way, Linda, because if we put it, once this goes out to those institutions, then we're bound to pick one of those. You know, we'd have to have a reason not to pick one of those. And for us to say, go ahead and do it, then we don't
But
have it.
if they don't guarantee our loan, is what I'm saying. I guess quit beating around the bush. If we can't get funding, what's he gonna penalize us to back out of the deal if he doesn't start the work?
Well, knowing Gail Scobie as well as I do, which isn't very well, but through Ronnie, our head lineman, that Scobie he would just say that that's it, you know, we'd have to rebid it, go up again, start up all over again. He wouldn't, yeah, I don't believe he would hold it against us and try to charge us for it. If he was out here working on a pole tomorrow, yes, he'd be upset. But at this point, no,
That's the only way I would-
he's a good guy.
About the only way I would go along with it is telling the whole, if we go along with the contract as you said you've done it, is to pursue the financing, but hold off on the work till we find out whether we got financing or not. If we don't, then scrap it. Even though it's gonna cost us more, because I don't want to, I'm afraid it's gonna, if he's willing to do that, but
Yeah,
I don't know if
that. I can't speak.
Well, you already said that you didn't plan on him going anything until spring. So spring is March anyway.
Yeah.
So we're looking at the 15th
Well,
of
he can
February.
show up next week.
Well, that's not what we're looking at for here, though. And that was what your thinking was by spring. We went through probably the heaviest snow I've seen in 5 years.
Right, and we wanted it done now. I would have wanted it done in January, February. We're working at this, that's why we started this in October. That's why at the previous meetings, I asked you guys, should we go ahead and should all this stuff? And we agreed that we need to do something about it now.
Well, I agree we need to do
That's
something,
what we're
but we
doing.
gotta make sure we have the money to do it.
You
That's
won't have the money's gonna be financed, and financing is financing. It's gonna go through, it's not a question. I don't know why you think that we have a bad mark in financing right now.
No, it's,
We
my
get
big,
financing.
my biggest thing would be like, I'm just gonna give you the scenario I gave Murray, it'd be like a car lot coming to me and saying, hey, take this car, go ahead and take it on home, we've got financing guaranteed, but I get the car home and then it comes back and say, hey, we ain't got financing, but I've gotta come up with $50,000 to pay for this car, and I can't do it out of my pocket.
But in the meantime, if something goes wrong, awry, out there, we're gonna be
But-
wishing.
But
we
now
did
we're
something.
playing for what ifs again too. That's the
That is,
same
it's
thing.
when. That's
Well,
not a if. It's-
Well, we've had the same thing when they come in front of us. It's like, well, this is what I expect to happen. Like I said, I agree that it's important, but the same thing, we've had how many emergencies and stuff come through that we're piecing together.
We are, you're right. This is our major weak link in this town, electrically.
Electrically. From
Yes.
Waterley, we've got 2 streets.
Right.
We got one that breaks every time we have a change in season. Okay, so there's another big project.
None of which will cost us $1 million if they go down and put people without power.
But we're still playing what ifs. We can play what if that goes down, but what if we don't get, I'm gonna be the devil's
There isn't.
advocate, I'm gonna play what.
Again, it isn't a if. I'm telling you, I talked to the bank president today. No matter what, we will get funding. The only question they have is it's gotta be done correctly, competitively, and then we choose who we want with what interest. That's all the question is at this point in time. We're going through the people that supply us with electricity. They're not gonna take a chance at us doing anything wrong. They're not gonna take a chance at us having a dilapidated system ready to go down. They're not gonna take a chance that us get some 30% interest rate, or no one agreed to our funding. This is recommending by our supplier. And by all means, they have a right to recommend it. They, not them, but Muck, whatever that's called.
MPUA?
They used to actually tell us, not a PUA, the other one, tell us they wanted a certain percentage upgrade per year or per so many years.
Well, that's what we have now, because I've read that contract. They want us to do a percentage of upgrade, and that's what we were going under.
That was only recommended, not mandatory.
Okay.
Yeah. And we've been doing real good there. But when they come across this one, which is, this should have been the highest priority electrical job we had in the city originally. I know you had low voltage where you're at,
Yeah.
but being without power on the whole half of town should have been a higher priority.
I'm not disagreeing with you on that, it's just, and I'm not arguing the fact, it's just scary putting out that saying, hey, yeah, let's go do this.
Scariest part is that the interest is going to be 2% or 9%. That's the scary part. Everybody wants our business. They want to get these loans to us. This is a municipal loan. This isn't throwing a loan to who knows who. They want to fund us.
So we don't even know how many banks are even competing at this point.
No, they have a list of bidders.
Right.
I could have requested that. I didn't.
And that's what I was looking at for that 14th.
But Simmons is now, as of today, going to be on that bidding list.
But Simmons has to be approved away from here anyway. All their approvals come from
Well, they're
Columbia
going
and
to bid on
High.
it.
Yeah.
They're going to bid on it. And
So I can't go with as far as because they're no longer a hometown bank. That's corporate entity.
yeah, but bigger the bank too, that they'll take us utilities, yeah, I mean, not utility, it is utility, but municipalities. Yeah, it's not a gamble with somebody they don't know. And we've got actually a decent credit record, so it's not like we stood anybody up in the last 20 years.
How many loans do we have outstanding right now?
That is on your paper that you guys requested.
Is that the one that's highlighted in?
This one. And it breaks them down from each department.
Last page?
I believe she did break it down. That's sanitation. There's UMB, those will be paid off in the next fiscal year. And there's financing for the golf course, there's a couple there. And then there's the big electric bill that's being financed from February of '21.
If we can't afford a $1,500 payment to protect that half of the city, we might as well close up shop. This is better than insurance.
And a new trash truck.
And if you look at things like that, where it releases our people from having to worry about, our linemen from worrying about repairing this and that all the time like we're doing, then they have more time to initiate ways to check out all of our transformers in town, which is normally on a schedule, which they don't have here in this town yet, to where it would actually prevent things like what happened at Christmas. Because we would know the years and dates of every transformer, every line, et cetera, everywhere in the city. And we could, you can predict that sooner or later we better get this transformer in stock because that one's gonna go, et cetera. Start being proactive instead of reactive. And this being reactive stuff has been costing us, it just costs us a lot. And people think, oh, well, we'll fix it over time. Well, you start adding that up, especially you start calling them all out Christmas Day like we did, over Christmas vacation.
Why don't we have a schedule for checking out?
We don't have time. We haven't had a good, we haven't had good leadership really to where they did it. Our current crew can do it if they have time. All we have to do is untie their hands from
Stop chasing.
catastrophic, yeah, fixing stuff all the time. And they can handle it. We're doing good electrically now.
That's a good group.
We're doing good water. We're doing good every department, I'll tell you right now. Every department's doing fantastic. Not making much money, but fantastic, getting the work done, getting problems solved, and getting things fixed. So,
Current balance on loans out is about 2.12 million. Is that what you see?
Sounds right, yeah.
I had some other ideas for you guys, but I don't remember what they were right now. I didn't bring those notes with me, but I don't think they have a problem. So you just start taking the savings and payroll that, from the adjustments we made this past 6 months, we'll make more than that $1,500 a month payment, way more. Plenty saved there. I think if we didn't act on a good proposal bid and before the interest rates goes too high, we'd be doing the community a disservice just with the idea that that's dangerous there. It's just that you guys, we were taking chances, and the town's been taking too many chances and then getting bit by it and then reeling by it afterwards and trying to make up for it after the fact. It's just not the way to run things. We've got to get on top of it and go. And this is a good opportunity to get on top of that alley before it goes.
Speaking of getting on top of things, the pumps in Southern Hills subdivision for the sewer system, we're down to 1. So is that something that maybe they're working on to?
We'll discuss it after a while. Yeah.
Okay.
No problem there either. We got it under control.
I just wondered.
Yeah.
I didn't know what it would be like to not be able to use the restroom, have an outhouse again maybe, I don't know.
Been out of power for a couple days, so I can fill you in on that.
I was just curious, because nobody ever talked about it, so.
We've got 2 pumps that'll slide in place, and they can just go and put it in place tomorrow from the other stations. The other stations have the new advanced pumps. One pump handles each station actually. So we're good. We did that built in, we designed those stations.
Well, I know I'm just going by what I was told, is that they're 70 models. And they're very, very old,
Yeah.
and they need to be replaced. So I didn't know if this would be on, down the line, that this would be considered very important to have them replaced sometime. It's not just our subdivision, I think it's the other subdivisions too.
I will discuss it a little bit, but no problem there. We got it all figured out.
Okay.
Yeah, we've been planning ahead. That's another thing we've been proactive on. So, no problem.
Just curious.
Got it under control. Appreciate your concern.
Wendell told me this afternoon or whatnot that electric companies only produce 12,000 in profit or over what the expenditures and stuff were since July. Electric department has been, throughout our history, responsible for so many other things that were going on. But right now, it doesn't seem like they're even able to absorb this extra. So we're talking
Shouldn't be responsible.
$2,000 a month, and we're looking at spending 1,500 on it for the next 20 years.
Yes. Rather than
That's,
the
that's
alternative.
not,
Rather than the alternative. But first of all, you gotta look at, we're gonna talk history, that the electrical department should not be supporting the town. When I pay my electric bill, I should not be supporting the rest of the town with that money.
But your utilities go to your city.
your utilities
We have
is for
sales tax,
infrastructure.
road use tax, we have everything else for that. Utilities have to take care of themselves, and the administration portion that takes care of them. That's it.
I thought we,
They have to build up a reserve so that they're ready for emergencies. We have 60,000 in reserve. That's it. Should have 400,000 according to PUA. And we're slowly building that up now that we've got it in office. So we are working on that proactively. Yeah,
And that's through the electric department, so how have we been building it up if we haven't showed them actually going through and having an overabundance? You know, because usually, I mean, I think through, even by the contract that they said, somewhere around 28%. Because that's for your infrastructure and wires, and as far as for building this up for emergencies. And I'm not seeing that, if those numbers
yeah,
are
it was,
correct.
that's why I had Shannon
Oh,
point it
yeah,
out.
just in the past, since we've been in, we've built it up.
Oh,
Up
I-
to 60. So
But if that's across the city, that's not coming from
From
just
electrical.
from electrical.
Oh, yeah, that's just from electrical. That is from electrical. And then also, and add to that, or subtract from that, we've been taking, according to Tina, I think it's 20%, but Tina does our books. So I'm gonna go with our master account, that we've been taking 12% of the electrical money and using it everywhere else, into our general fund. So it's there. It's there, we can do it. And like I said, all we're asking it to do is $1,500 a month. That, it's not like we're going out and buying a new truck just to drive around in, even though the mayor deserves one. The only gamble that I see is the interest, and that's after talking to MPUA and talking to the bank, local bank. It's just the interest in which one we choose. That's it. Otherwise, by the time this financing gets done, that job can be done. It'll be over with, and we won't have to worry about it.
We're all taking gambles here. We're gambling whether we're gonna get interest, what the interest rate is gonna be. We're gambling whether we're gonna actually get the loan, even though everybody said we are. We're gambling whether that's gonna go down. So, my proposal, as far as I don't know what you guys think, so I'm just throwing this out there, that if I went along with this, that I would ask Scobie to hold off till we are 100% sure that we've got some kind of financing, regardless of interest rate, hold off on doing that, and then if we don't get the loan, or the, I'm not really worried about the interest rate, but if we don't get the loan, these guys want a paycheck every week. And if he will hold off till we know 100% sure on that alleyway with this price, I'd go along with it. But I don't want to bankrupt our city if something happens, if this all goes south.
We wouldn't bankrupt it because I know that we've got a year to come up with financing. There are institutions begging to give loans. You know, we'll get a loan. The municipality is gonna get the loan. Financing's not a problem.
But I don't know what these guys think. Guys, shoot me what you think.
I think you're being over, whatever you call it.
Overprotective?
Yeah, overprotective, and instead that'll bite us. I really do. If it was potholes in the street, I'd say, yeah, that's not a big deal.
And I'm not being hard to get along with. I'm just thinking about these guys and all of our city guys.
I am too, because everybody in that side of town needs power. And the experience that we've had lately with the power this winter, it's not something to gamble.
Yeah, but I don't want to gamble these guys' paychecks either.
We got
It's my name, I don't want to gamble my name. Dad always said it takes a a lifetime to build your name and seconds to tear it down, and I don't wanna do that
Yeah.
either, so.
We don't want you to. We can pull it off. That's, like I said, that their institutions want our business.
Well, I'm willing to go along with it as long as we are able to secure financing. But I know you've had way more conversations in the background than what we've had with these institutions. And I feel that you've done a pretty good job so far as a mayor. So I am willing to go along with your recommendation that we will get financing. I don't feel that you would bankrupt our city or look to do that.
I feel it's our responsibility to be proactive. If there's any way to possibly do it, and we can do it. We know we've got a ticking time bomb. I think we can put it out, jump on it. And, well, we've been working on this, and done a lot of homework since October. And we are getting a whole lot for our money. It's old prices from October, good crew, everybody. We really, I don't see there's a downside to it unless interest rates jump in the next 20 days or less before these bids get turned in.
The only date that I see on here is the February 14th. That affirms that, yes, we've got financing that will be available. At that point, it's pick and choose. The closing and the other dates and stuff, that's finance. If you're still looking at it by spring, then that gives us March 1 is what I consider spring. We'll still have snow into April here because it's Missouri, but it's still spring.
It could very easily cost us $300,000 then. It's just, it's not worth that either.
But that's
It's not
still,
worth the risk of it.
we're still another gamble and stuff across it. The biggest thing now is if we have to come up with this funding, we don't have it.
We, in 12 months, we can come up with funding for anything. In 12 months, it's just what you're willing to pay for interest. But we are, whatever they call it, when it comes to credit for the municipality, we can get funding. We can and will. We go through a lot of different ways to get it. But this is the easiest, quickest, and best way through our supplier. Let's do it. There's no reason to wait around and get it another way, pay more, restart everything, take a chance on it. There's no real reason. We all are in agreement that it's needed. It's a necessity for the city. It's too dangerous to let it sit any longer than we have to. We have a good, low-cost, old-price proposal in front of us with a crew that can do the job. We have the material. It's just a matter of $1,500 a month at a certain point of interest. And we even have the bank telling us that, oh, I'm getting on that bid. We're going to bid on it. He told me today he's going to bid on it. I don't know whether he'll be the lowest or highest bidder, or you guys will choose him over anybody else. But if he's jumping in on it, that means they want a loan. They want a loan money.
I have a question.
Thing to do.
Is this, the electric, is that a problem with other, the people's electric bills? Is that making their electric bills higher?
No.
Okay, because I know on that side of town, I know this is crazy, but that side of town, the electric bills are higher.
Not per kilowatt. You're still paying for each kilowatt you get.
Well, I'm just throwing this out there. My daughter lived in a little bitty house, and her electric bill was $500 a month. And so my husband went in, and my son-in-law went in, and they did all this work and changed the wiring and everything. Nothing changed. She got a new refrigerator and everything. And that electric in that house is still really high. My daughter has a beauty shop. It's really high.
That would take some research for qualified
But all the
electrician.
people on that side of town talk about how they're.
You'd have to take a house-to-house basis and have someone do the research on it. But I assure you, electricity is the same all over the city. It's the same all over the city regardless. But every building, every house has its own little idiosyncrasies
I
why,
just wondered if,
why they're using this many kilowatts or that many. And it can be determined, you can hire someone, they can check that out for you.
well, we had somebody come in from Laclede County Electric, and he checked it, and there was not a problem in the house. It was a problem on the outside. It was the line or something.
Well, you can't use, the lines don't use electricity.
I don't
They just
know, I'm just
deliver it.
going by what they said, but they don't live there no more, so it's somebody else's problem.
Well, we want to make sure it's fair across the whole city.
February 14th is our regular meeting. Right?
On Valentine's?
It is, again this year.
2 years ago.
You're not
You don't
getting
do
out of
anything
it.
anyway.
Jackie still
Yeah,
deserves.
I'm glad you said that, not me, okay?
You get in trouble later if you said it. But I think we should, I think it's an opportunity to secure things, make the town that much more secure and go. And I don't see a downside to it, I don't see a problem. MPUA would not be behind it, nobody, the bank wouldn't be, no one would be if they thought it wasn't gonna go. And there wouldn't be bidders, they know what's going on out there. They're making these, what do you call that, RFP, whatever? Yeah, requests for proposals. They're doing them for different jobs and projects all over the state, everywhere, all the cities that they supply, 116, I think.
Do you think Scobie would wait till March 1st before he started that?
I do not know, I don't know his schedule. I didn't ask him
That's
because-
where I'm at, because even if you look at for getting in, we got hard weather next week.
Yeah.
We got projected mild for a little bit after that, and there, it's a crapshoot anyway, but at that point, it's that deadline of February 14th.
And he's wanting to work,
Yeah.
and that's, you know,
Well, he wants to do it fill-in time, this is kind of work he can use for fill-in time.
Well, that's not a fill-in job, that's a
Yeah,
start to
for his
finish.
company it is. For
That's-
his company, he can just send a crew down there and play.
And then the next question that I was looking at and stuff, and I think I brought this up before, is there any way that we can go and start setting poles? Because I know we have the capabilities and stuff for that
It
anyway.
won't help. What you need, and that's why we had to hire it out instead of doing it in-house. We need too many trucks and too many men in trucks and on the ground to do it at once. It's gotta be simultaneous in order not to shut everybody down. Otherwise, there'll be a lot of shutdowns.
And
There'll
it's
be
the
a
high
few,
voltage
but there'll be a
lines.
lot. Yes, everything's gotta be done with a lot of crews, a lot of people in the air.
but most of those guys usually have their projects scheduled out for a month in advance anyways, so.
Right, and he's got this one scheduled, so. That's the whole bid, everything, it's all, that's why it went into effect. So, you know, all we're doing is cutting our noses off waiting, that's the only thing we're doing. Because for some reason you guys don't know what's out there financially, and that these banking institutions are wanting our business. They want us to start paying them. They're there. That's the only thing, that's all I'm seeing from you guys is whether they're gonna give us financing or not. That's not a question. The question is what the rates will be. They'll give us financing. And I'm not afraid of the rates, mainly because we're a municipality, first of all. And secondly, no matter what it is, it's gonna be cheaper than having a fault in the next 6 to 12 months out there in that alley.
Well, that's why I said, you've had these conversations more in the background than we've had with these institutions, that I'm more comfortable that way, knowing that you've had those conversations and doing it.
I wouldn't be recommending it if I was worried about it after talking to them, no way. We're running a tight ship. We're gonna come out okay, so far in our budget, we are coming out good. We're fine. I wouldn't recommend it if I didn't think it would work, or if it wasn't good for the city overall. Definitely would not. I would not risk it.
So what do you think, Barry?
I've been going back and forth because I understand both sides of this, but I'm also looking at the dollars, and checking book and stuff for, because that's the business side of me and the home side of me. And I still think if we can hold Scobie off until the 14th, and we see what we've got, and at that point, then it's a pick and choose, and it's a no-brainer. And if we're already looking for, because the good weather is gonna come in March. That's historic for us, but that's, and I agree with even the stuff that John's saying. So
Yeah.
don't think of it as that. I'm just looking to put in not only another perspective, but to make sure that we're not putting ourselves into a trap that we can't get out of too. And
I agree, I'm right there with you. And I don't think Scobie's gonna turn that offer down because he's gonna make money off this thing, regardless. And I don't think well, the business side of me tells me he's gonna say, okay, we'll do it.
well, you might not have it scheduled until good weather
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah, we don't know this.
And but the other thing is I don't even see anything in writing from him saying that, hey, we're good for a year. You know, at that point, it's just word of mouth and things from that. And I think that they're both honorable as far as for holding to it. But at the same thing, we have held everything else to as far as in writing because of the contract. And I don't think he's gonna back out. I honestly do believe that it is, everybody's upfront and trying to do what's best. But, yeah, my thinking on this is to make sure at least that we're selecting somebody that's gonna put the money into the kitty rather than trying to find it later for the first year or whatnot that he's guaranteed for.
Just like you said, emergency funding, we can go tomorrow and get an SRF loan and get a loan to pay it. That's not a problem. We can go do all kinds of things other ways. Just that with this low bid, in order to nail this in with the meetings we've had, we're asking this guy to hold his prices from October till February. You're asking a lot of him from a business point of view in today's economy. And here he is doing good for us and allowing us a year to pay it. I mean, he can do what he wants to do, but my business sense says it's crazy. It really does.
Well,
We're not
it's
gaining anything by waiting.
It's definitely crazy, but he's gotta understand our point too.
Then he'll have to ask us to understand his point. If he rebids it, and we go out there and get 4 more bids, and they're all over $300-some thousand. And he will be saying, dang it, we had the funding, people wanted to fund us, why didn't we do it? And I feel like I wasn't prepared enough to prove to you guys that we can do it. But that's all I have right now is that I have good word of mouth from reputable people that we will not have a problem getting funding. The funding is there, it's gonna go. These people aren't just talking outside of their mouth, they know they have bidders out there that want our business. We've got them. And I know one in our town, right from the president, he will definitely bid on it. I don't know what else to tell you, but I think if we're getting a good price, we're getting a good job. The sooner we get it done, the better, for everybody's sake. These power outages we've had are just crazy. It's scary. It's just, why would we gamble when we have an opportunity to get on it and get it going? Whether he gets on it tomorrow or next month, that's his schedule. But we put it off a month, his schedule gets pushed off a month, who knows, maybe more months. Maybe his whole summer's booked, and I would guess that way. That's just me guessing. I'm sorry.
It'd been nice if he could've come in and been here.
Yeah. This isn't a big job for him, though. This is, he does $30 million jobs constantly. They're all, $40 million is just filling time. That's all it was. Yeah, I'll come do that for you over the winter. That's when he wanted to do it, over the winter. I know he wouldn't come back in the summer to do it. He's got big jobs to do, and so did all the other companies. They're all tied up. This is just he doesn't even have to get parts for it. All he has to do is come in, it's a fill-in job, send the crews over, get us out of trouble, and go. In the meantime, we'll get funding, the funding's on, it's being bid out, we're all set. I think you guys are worried more than you need to be. And if you're worried this much about this, when we have this much in place, wait till it gets tight. Wait till we get.
It is pretty tight right now.
No,
We're
you don't
tight.
know what tight is. I'm sorry. You don't, tight is, which was explained to me by past Mayor Buddy Vines a while back, that they were standing there by the counter, adding up and counting the utility bills that came in, so they know if they could make payroll that week.
That
They would have been making all of these.
That wasn't tight, that was dire.
Yeah.
Tight is where we're at now.
Yeah.
Tight is usually still in the black.
Well, tight, we're tight, but we're being responsible, and, I don't know, what is our budget, 8 million, we get around there. And we are, last I checked, right in there, percentage-wise, where we should be. We're, give or take 1 or 2%. We're not behind 20%, 10%.
Yes, but we needed to be under, so that way it builds up those
Now, we can always
emergencies.
dream, but right now,
Well,
it's,
but it-
with
'cause
the economy, the way
we
it
have
keeps
no-
going, the
yeah.
expenses keep going up.
Yep.
We're doing good by being on track. You know, we really are. We're doing phenomenal compared to many other towns and businesses during this financial times. So all we need to do is just get it going, and it'll all fall in place. In my experience, and with what they've told me, there isn't a problem with it falling in place.
Funky, what do you got? Anything different? You're staying?
Yeah, I'm staying where I am, just how I said before, he's had those conversations, I don't think he would lead us in the wrong direction. And I'm going off his recommendation that we will find financing.
And we're not throwing darts. The finances are coming to us. They're gonna be bidding on it. We're not just shooting in the dark. This is our electrical supplier that's putting it out there to his bidders. You can't ask for more power than that to get it going. Fantastic. It's up to you guys though.
Come on, roll the dice, just do it.
You're not up here.
I would really like to see the 14th, and I wouldn't hesitate, I would not hesitate to go forward with it if.
Anybody can take the easy.
We've got we have 2 new council members second year that's gonna be part of this as well.
Mm-hmm.
What are your guys' thoughts?
I think if you could call the guy and just see if he would be okay with, you know, the waiting.
We did this.
To make
We did
sure.
this from the October all the way to February. See, we really,
Already
Push
jumped,
them.
okay?
Yeah.
We pushed them to more days.
yeah, we did, and he did come through
Well, what
for
about
us.
getting something from the bank? If that's what they need, you know, or like something from Simmons or the other banks that says,
They can't.
unless something happens, you are guaranteed this loan.
Legally,
you know.
they can't.
They can't.
That's- I asked for that.
Ah.
Legally, they can't because it's gotta be a bid process. They can't be, any one bank cannot guarantee it for us. We cannot ask one bank right now. It has to be, because it's a non-tax something or other municipality. I don't know the legal jargon for it. But legally, they have to put it out for bid, let everybody have a chance, be the so-called low bidder or whatever, then bring it to us. So, yeah,
Your
it's hard
turn.
to get
What
a
do you
guarantee.
So, 100% hands down, I would go with John's recommendation for 2 different reasons. Being a contractor, this is a slow time of the year. I tend to pick up jobs for cheaper than I would any other time of the year. Come March, that job that I just bid at $1,000 is gonna be $2,500, and it's gonna be 3 weeks out. So, we're never gonna get a better deal. We're throwing our money away if we wait. The financing, we're gonna get financing. It may not be next month. But within the next 6 months, financing will be found. We're a city, no one's gonna turn us down. And the fact that our co-op is going out there and putting their name out there for us means that we're gonna get it. The question isn't, are we gonna get the financing? The question is, what interest rate do you guys want? Why aren't we getting this done already? Why wasn't it done before when it was supposed to be done? Those are the questions. We're one storm away from losing that whole entire alleyway.
We've had those same questions when I was on the council before, but we just didn't have the money to do it.
Right. And right now, we're sitting in the best situation we could be in. If he didn't come back to us and say, if he came back and said, hey, I talked to a couple banks and they're gonna go out to bid, I would question just like you are. But the fact that our co-op is doing that for us means that we have the best chance in the world to get it. Then we wouldn't have going out on our own and getting it. So I'm not afraid of not getting the financing. I'm afraid of that next big storm. We've had 2 big storms this year that we're not used to at all. All we need is one more, and we lose half the city, not to mention that transformer blows up and takes out 3, 4 buildings. You know, that's my fear. My fear is not the money. The money's, that you can always find money. My fear is rebuilding part of our downtown, historic downtown, having multiple customers or multiple residents that back us, that we're sitting in these chairs for, being out of power for a month, minimum a month. I mean, look at this little storm. This little storm knocked people out. They're saying 5 days. People are gonna be without power for up to 5 days.
That's a little different too, because of the fact that it's spread, it isn't a centralized location. We didn't lose power in here.
Right, we did not.
And it wasn't due to anything else except for the hard work and things that were
Right.
there. Any problem got hit, but it's the same storm that went through there.
Yeah.
And what that was is as part of trees taking out lines, vehicles outrunning, can't do anything else. We're looking at 2 different things here. This is the first storm that we've actually had that had the weather. The other was cold temperature.
Yeah.
This is the heaviest snow and the wettest snow that we've had.
Yes.
Okay, so if it made it through it, how much of an emergency is it? Because that's where your emergency funding comes in.
Right.
The other part of this is it needed? Everybody agrees that it's 100% needed. But what we're looking for is to make sure that the money is in the checkbook before we write the check. That's what the big thing is.
No, and I understand, I
And
understand.
at that point, even if, because the only thing that I have up here as far as in writing and in contract is dates that come from our actual MPUA association saying this is when it's going to happen.
Yeah, this is when you're gonna have all your, correct, all
And
the
that's
dates.
where this is where we're at.
They're the ones
But that's,
that told me, as well as you guys, to do it a month ago. They're the ones saying, you go for it, get that done.
but our MPUA is telling us on the 14th of next month, you're gonna have at least 3 loans sitting in front of you, giving you options.
Right.
They're not saying, we'll find out if you get financing on the 14th. They're saying you're gonna have these sitting in front of you. So they're telling you you're gonna get the loan. They're not telling you you're not getting financing. They're telling you you're gonna get the loan. You're gonna get options. I wouldn't be afraid of the financing. Me personally, and I pinch pennies, for the most part. But when it comes to big jobs, I definitely pinch pennies. When it comes to business, I definitely pinch pennies. And I understand the fear, but I'm sitting here wondering why we're still talking about it, because I feel like everything has been explained, and the grasp I got out of that is the money's coming. We just don't know who it's coming from yet, and what we're gonna pay for it yet. If we get stuck in a crappy loan, then when interest rates start to come back down, we go refinance that loan. We get into a better loan. But we gotta get it done.
It's different between a municipality getting loans and non-municipalities. Keep that in mind.
I know.
Reason being is because if you look at the outstanding debt, we can't go refinance those in,
Right.
and they stop us from getting more. That affects grants and other things. So it's not just as easy as refinancing.
Yeah, no, I understand.
We gotta make a decision.
Yeah.
Can you get a schedule date from the electrician guy? To see if maybe
I've-
it's even after what they're thinking.
Well,
Can you just
both
call him up?
Mike Matthews and Ronnie Neal were willing to come tonight. I told them, I don't think you guys need convincing that we need to get it done as soon as possible. It might have helped if they were here, but I told them I didn't think that we needed it because they know from what they're doing out there.
Everything they would have said would have just gone through that we needed.
It
Yeah.
does. But we're talking, this is major. This is major. Go through without power for any length of time. And then the emergency funding and time of being down, it's gonna hurt. It can hurt. And here we've got everything laid out in front of us.
I
It's
guess
just
it
put together.
comes down to the thing, are we gonna put our confidence in what?
Yes, and the research we've done,
Yeah.
yes, exactly. And I implore you guys to do that because I've done a lot of homework on it. I definitely researched it. I wouldn't be playing games with Core Million at a time if I didn't feel confident that we could get it done.
You got a quarter on the plate?
It's not why we put you up here,
It's a hard decision to make, John.
but it's, if MPUA said, I don't know, we could try, no. They said, no, go get it done, get them going. They told me, tell the guy to go to work, price-wise, or work-wise, timing-wise, and we'll go ahead and get a okay from the council so that.
So
we-
you don't think it'd be an option at all, like, call Scobie and ask him if he could start March 1st?
I don't have his number. Call him. I don't know if we're pushing it or not, but
I don't even care if it's just after the February 14th. Okay, I understand the dire.
Yeah, but he's gonna wanna make money too.
Yeah.
He's wanting to make money.
he's not gonna make money if he waits too long
No,
and turns
but
down a good
we're only
job.
talking,
This is not a good job.
no, but
It's just
he's, we're only
filling.
talking, what,
2 weeks.
2 weeks?
Yes, it's just a fill-in 2 weeks for him. So he
But
can
he's
say,
not,
no,
I don't
forget
think
it,
he's gonna be
guys.
here in 2 weeks.
I don't know when he'll come, yeah, I don't know.
I don't think with weather-wise,
Whether it's stuff,
next
because
week,
he's called out for emergencies anyway, if there's any of these other.
next week's
cases.
is
Seriously.
a wash anyway, because I couldn't get on because of weather, so we're looking at maybe 1 week. I'm willing to gamble on it with what you putting, with your reputation that you said, that we're gonna get funded. I'm kinda like Punky, I know it needs to be done, but Steve, there's a lot of gambling. But if we don't get funding and he hasn't started it by February 14th, and we have to scratch it, then we're gonna have to scratch it.
Yeah, yeah.
Would that
That would be
be,
normal, yeah.
would that be okay with you?
Keep also in mind, that means that a lot of these other projects and stuff are probably, there are probably gonna be some other projects getting shot down until we get the funding and stuff back up, built into with the city.
Well, we're only talking $1,500 a month, that's not gonna hurt any other project, $1,500 a month.
But that's an
We already saved-
obligation for 20 years.
We already saved enough money to cover
I-
quite a bit of it.
I just feel like we really need to tighten the purse strings till we, because this is really, really concerning, this report that Shannon got for me. And once you start seeing this money that we went in the hole 4 out of 6 months on our electricity, you know, and then we've got this last big, if we get another heat thing to come through like we did the last time,
Oh,
we're gonna be,
we're protected by that.
Are we?
In the way.
but,
But remember too, right now, this month and last month, we have peak demands, and we're paying on that. That's not our norm. But our norm is, you got your peak demands and your load, and it averages out through the year. So right now, you're looking at the ones that we had peak demands for.
this was since July, but
Right, but it's recently that it hurt. It
But-
wasn't all the way through.
And I'm just looking at it from a business standpoint, you can't continually go in the hole and expect something to work.
Right, we're having a rate study done
Yeah.
on ours to see what's going on there with electrical, whether it has to be up enough, if it's taking care of itself, or we're robbing too much money from it. We do have to look into that.
All right,
You guys want to make a motion either way, we'll make a motion. Vote on it, we'll move on. Haven't got any motion. Anybody have any interest in making a motion?
thinking about how to word it.
That's what I'm thinking.
That's good, I'm gonna let you two think so I can keep thinking over here, okay?
I am willing to make the motion that we've already accepted Scobie's bid at the last meeting, correct? That we just seek financing to pay for the alleyway, $242,000.
Can we do that on a contingent that if we don't get financing, scrap it if he
That's
doesn't-
automatic, you don't need a contingency in the motion, that's automatic.
If he hasn't started working.
Anytime.
And is there a possibility that you might give him a call and see if he can wait
Oh, yeah, yeah, definitely.
if he's not going on his schedule?
I can try to get it delayed depending on his schedule.
Okay, go ahead.
Motion by Punky to use Scobie and seek financing.
And continue with the project contingency that we receive financing.
Perfect. We have a motion on the table,
I'll second.
second by Linda. Any further discussion?
Anything, Mary?
Nope.
We got our names on it.
I have one thing to discuss, and that is you guys are making, I feel you're making the right decision. I really do.
And I wasn't going against you either.
Oh,
We add to
no,
that motion based off the mayor's recommendation.
Roll call vote.
I'm gonna hold up to anything but that.
Aye.
Aye.
Punky, that was a heavy bus.
Well, the impressive part is that we're not a rubber stamp board.
Right.
That's impressive. It takes time, it takes a lot of headaches, learning and getting the homework done on their part as well. They're in City Hall looking at the numbers, they're doing a lot. They have reason for concern, they know what they're looking at. So it's impressive, actually. Okay, council to discuss community center building.
You have a list of questions that I need decisions on.
How soon?
Yesterday?
Carmen's proposed plan and.
You need to look at the questions.
Should we read the questions first or the proposed plan? Which would answer
The
the
proposed
questions?
plan would probably be for later.
Okay.
We're gonna do questions, Joe.
Center question, suggested pricing, $25 hourly. Okay, $100 daily,
Yeah.
$0 for nonprofit. And then $60 deposit, yeah, deposit still applies to nonprofit. That would,
That's a cleaning fee,
be definite, but you guys can decide that. City employee discount,
So
well, we're
Back
always,
to number one, the $25 is the same as what Chamber was pricing it. The $100 daily is a little different. They had $100 for yard sale, or don't quote me, but I think it was $175 for all day. It's pretty high.
I'm gonna hit something back like I normally do. I would like to see recommendations from Carla and whoever else is going to be
that's what I thought we
promoting.
had.
These are hers.
Oh, this is her suggestion.
Yeah.
Okay. So is this cheaper than what the current stuff is? Because I don't see one of each
Yes,
is what I'm
so,
looking for.
so the community, or the chamber, when they were renting it out, had $100 for yard sales, and I believe it was $175. I tried to look back, but they've already deleted it, but we both believe it was $175 for all day. Yes.
You know why there was such a big discrepancy there? What's?
Don't know,
You're
but
not wearing plates out
175 is
anymore.
really expensive.
As long as we fix it, I'm not gonna go into that.
And then nonprofit, they had still for $100. So we were just, not we, she was going off in the recommendation if it's for a benefit or something to benefit the community, then it would be $0, because that's
That's
what's
what the
there.
community center's there for.
Now, will they still put in a deposit?
There'd still be a cleaning deposit
Okay.
regardless,
Yes.
if that's what you guys want.
Even for not-for-profit, they gotta be responsible for taking care of the place.
You might not want to just label it not-for-profit though, because that makes it sound like a not-for-profit, like
Good
business could do something there, which
Okay.
would be hospitals, churches, all of
Okay.
that. Those are
So
different.
how should we word it?
You don't have it? Can I get another one? Let's do this.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Here,
Here,
we're gonna
I've
do
done
that.
that.
Not-for-profit
Well,
with
somebody,
community
It's probably fine.
gain or community benefit. Somehow it's gotta be.
Benefits or something
Could be
like
like
that, if
that.
that's what you have in mind, just.
The 503C.
Yeah, but still not enough, because just because the business isn't for profit, they're still making money.
but a 503C is
It's a
a
business.
nonprofit.
Yes,
It's
they're
not a
making money, they're
business.
paying, they may pay their executives $100,000 a year.
True,
Mhm.
okay, I see what you're
Okay,
saying.
most hospitals are 501c3,
So
that doesn't
it's-
mean they're not making a lot of money.
But you said if it in some way benefits the community, somehow, right?
A
It's got-
not-for-profit community event. Could be
With the
something like
community,
that.
boy, it's gotta benefit the community.
That's what I'm saying, a community event.
How do we word it is the question. We might leave that to the lawyer.
I think we can figure that out at
Yeah.
another spot, but that's
Yeah.
something that needs to be addressed, yes.
City
There needs to
employee-
be some kind of paperwork and stuff that goes through that has everything listed in it, and probably signed off by all of us once it's complete, so.
Yeah, if it's any,
We've just got people renting it, and so
we just won't
I
say
need
not
to
for
know what to
profit.
charge people.
Yeah,
That's
just
why
if you
we're
say
like,
not-for-profit,
we've got
it
to
makes it sound like it's
Okay,
not-for-profit
others
organization.
can be decided on an individual basis.
There we go.
decide. Okay. Okay.
Number 2, city employee discount, question mark. We've got, we're working at better and better benefit for our city employees. So would that, if we gave them a discount, does that mean they can have a garage sale in there every weekend, or what are we doing? You know what I mean? It's still, if they're doing it for
We're just trying to
profit.
think of things that's gonna be asked.
Can we
Like the city.
table that question, so that way we can actually look at it more as a group too?
Okay, but the problem is that we're getting people that want to line stuff up, and we can't give them a number. So right now, we can make these tentative for now, and we can change them. They're always changeable, but we really need
If I
to.
know what to go now when people are
Yeah.
calling, then if you wanna bring it back up at a future meeting, you can totally do
Yeah.
that. I just need to know when people call, what do I tell them?
Just to get by so people can make their arrangements. There's people, weddings, they go anything, they go far in advance. We need something to give them an answer to. I'm all for a city employee
So
discount.
if we done like, now I'm just throwing this out there for easy sake, so like on suggested pricing, $25 an hour, what if we went for like 15 an hour or 20 an hour for, the employees, and then knock off like $25 off of the daily or something for. the
About
employees?
2080.
Sounds good. What do you think, Bob?
Sounds good.
And since we're nitpicking, $25 hourly, we need a minimum,
Yes.
4-hour minimum or
Okay.
something.
Okay,
Well, that's at your
That's your
$100 a day.
I know, but we gotta do something, 2-hour minimum, we
2
gotta have
hours
something.
minimum.
okay.
We can't
3-hour minimum.
have 8 people in there, eight hours.
And then you probably have something special for churches anyway, because you've got 2 churches or something on the weekends.
And what'd you say on the city employee discounts?
2080.
So 20% discount,
No,
$20.
basically, yes. Yes,
20% discount on that.
yeah. That's what I was looking at.
Makes sense.
Requesting locked cabinet for her storage. Who's Robin McCullough?
She does the cooking for the chamber meetings.
And she wants a locked cabinet for her
She's
storage.
just requesting that one be put there so that her own cooking utensils and things could be locked away.
I want to look into that.
Yeah, because
That's
boy, we
something that
got
doesn't
9,
for here.
we have 9 different organizations, we're done out of cabinets.
So
And
table
everybody
that.
else is expected to bring their stuff in.
Yeah.
I mean, we can have community stuff that should work for them. We should have that kitchen equipped, and they can use it. If they want to bring something else in, that's up to them. What offices will be for the Chamber of Commerce, Community Government, Community Center Director? Boy, you got a lot to work on there. Because
Well, think the front office needs to be whoever's actually running and directing the activities down there, because it is the first thing everybody sees when they come. After that, I'm game, I don't care.
And the office can be shared, and the reason why office has to be, that's an awful big office, and we don't have very many rooms to go around.
Yeah, at the same point, we've got somebody that's occupied that's been there less than, 6 hours a week?
Oh, right.
See what I'm saying?
They get a
So,
smaller desk in the corners.
yeah, well,
I would give them the smaller office if it was me, and then
They left their office behind.
But what about other organizations? Well, they're the only organization that want a full-time office, right?
and the community betterment has half of a closet or?
There's 2 closets in the back.
well, we
Yeah, they used to have, an office,
they do.
yeah, but I don't think they do anymore.
It's there, it's just not used for
It's a
an
storage
office.
There's 3 offices that are there. You got the big one that's surrounded by glass, you got the one next to it, and you got one up around the corner. So,
And storage.
Yeah, so
that
it's
used
the
to,
second office.
that used to be an office. Yes,
That's the point, we can.
that's
we
exactly.
We can move a door or put a window in.
That's where I'm at with that, but I don't think this is something that needs to be answered as far as for here. It's gonna take probably you and Eddie going down there,
Yeah, right
looking at it,
now-
and doing a recommendation.
Right now, we gotta get numbers, yeah.
Yep.
Right, that's right. Okay, 5 is, if center is not left as it should be after an event, how will the cleaning be handled? Center director responsibility. Who's the
That's the
center
deposit.
director?
That's the deposit, is what I would say, as your answer right
Right,
now.
but
So we take
she's saying-
$50 deposit
she's
and hire
asking,
someone to clean.
What do you wanna do?
The
Like, have a
last.
city employee
The
that
last.
cleans some offices, as needed.
I'd leave that as Carla's, whatever she chose. That'd be my suggestion. Let her figure it out.
Yep,
What she's there for.
The chamber is requesting storage. I wouldn't go any further than storage building out back.
I don't think it's their store.
It was purchased by Community Betterment years ago, according to Linda Lewis, when I talked to her, and it was not bought for Community Betterment, it was bought for the building. So it wasn't
So
bought
it would
to
be a
be
shared
anyone
storage, wouldn't
specifically.
be a,
it needs to be cleaned out. The other thing is, Community Betterment at that time also bought chairs, tables, and all the utensils and stuff that were in there too.
so that storage really, if we.
They are
can't make it-
requesting, the chamber is requesting a storage area.
I would, whatever's in their office, probably provide an on-site storage facility for them. There's no place they could probably find that, I would think.
What are they looking to put in there is the next thing, because
Right.
they're, and that's another thing I think that's gonna be, someone needs to go look and actually see.
If you
And
need to store these props, yeah, we can throw them in there, but if you're gonna grab the tables and chairs and hide them in there, no.
Well, and are they going, whatever they got in the storage building now, are they just looking to keep that?
it's paper or
That's gotta go.
junk.
That's gotta go.
That's what I'm saying, is, but I think that's not, for we need to see recommendations from you two as the supervisors over those. That's what I recommend.
Clear description of what chamber owns and if what city needs to purchase from chamber to make center needs are met. That's easy. Yeah, show us receipts.
Yep, thank you.
Carla's proposed plan. Schedule would be Monday through Friday for the most part. There is always a possibility of variation if I have to cover for an employee at the pro shop. So he's saying that we would Monday through Friday for the most part. That's what normally we plan on Saturday or Sunday and should not interfere with weekly schedule. This is gonna be Carla's office?
What?
I don't understand.
Well, that's, you guys need to decide that.
But is that what she's proposing? She wants to have
If she
her
has
office
a
there.
place,
So we're gonna lose her at the golf course?
she will split her days, that's what she's telling you.
Then you're paying more part-time help in the pro shop.
That's actually more beneficial.
This is what has been asked of her.
Okay, I would be at the golf course from 8 to noon, open pro shop, have breakfast and get morning golfers out the door. This would also give me time to have lunch planned, help get employees prepared for the day and make supply runs when needed. employee would come in at 11:30 a.m. Oh, take her place, and she'd go to the community building. Approximately noon, I'll open the community center building. My duties there would include inspection of the building, if there were any rentals the night before, so I can inform City Hall of anything that may adjust the return of deposits, and will then take care of anything that wasn't done. McKenna, Shannon, and I are able to stay in constant contact with rentals with the Google Calendar. My goals are, this is here, build and maintain a relationship with current business owners so that the city is informed of needs and places for improvement. I don't want to talk bad, but that's great. I mean, it's fantastic. It's also, has been the chamber's job.
Yes.
But that is fantastic. Have available a list of properties for interested businesses and contacts to help in the process. Wow.
She would like to be another option if someone walked in the door, if they were traveling through that, if they said, hey, what are your rentals here?
Beginning to sound like she's running for chamber president.
Are there any available properties, especially for businesses? She'd just like to have some information so that if somebody came in, she could hand them, the information.
Complete and keep updated the City of Montview website, which fantastic.
Which she does have right now.
Yes,
That is
she
excellent.
works on it all afternoon.
Fantastic. Educate myself and get training on the grant writing process and stay in touch with city supervisors of what their department needs are and how I can help. She invited off way.
That's what I wanted the last time, so.
We're taking some grant writing classes.
Sounds good in writing all this, but she's biting off. I don't know how one person, she's ruined the golf. We're gonna be asking louder if we said to do all this without help. She would need help. Well, of course, at our administration at the office will be helping her and all that.
Oh,
So that is benefit. Improve the rental potential for the community building through advertisement and planning events. Again, good idea for the chamber. But planning more events, tournaments at the golf course, and working with Tide towards goals we have met. And the neat part there is she can work that in with
Yes.
this. Well, we have a
So
building.
I agree with
This,
3,
that.
5, and 6. How do you see that?
Say, take out the last part of 4, staying in touch with city supervisors with the department needs.
But you still want her to go through and do the grant writing process? Never.
That's a lot, but
That's a-
it's also a benefit too, though.
Maybe move into that, but right away, that's where, because she's tackling a lot just with this extra duty.
Just keeping the golf course going and getting events going and everything there should be a busy job for her. Not in the winter, but in the winter.
Yes,
Preparing for the
preparing
summer.
for the summer.
That sounds like a lot. Man, I hate to bog somebody down and then we only get half the production. Especially out of someone like her, she's a fireball.
So what you're thinking is you want her to go ahead and pursue learning how to write grants,
Oh, yeah.
just educate, but that could be like
It doesn't have to be a top priority, just something, she has free time.
have you met her yet?
Yes,
Okay, now you understand why.
that's why I'm saying she'll work at it
No.
somewhere.
I like 3, 5, and 6, because it does add still more, but I don't think it's gonna be something that is going to burn her out, and that was one of my, not that she can't do it, it's that I don't want one person taking on 5 different jobs.
Combined with the golf course,
That's what I'm
those 3 things
Yeah, that's.
would fall in place a lot better than the other 3. I agree. Because, man, why didn't she go and run the chamber? This is perfect for her.
But-
Boy, we don't want to lose her.
No, we don't
I didn't
say
say
that.
But that's kind of what we was looking for when we
That's right.
granted this,
Yeah.
made this position.
Yeah,
Was marketing and as far as
yeah.
So,
she's tying in the marketing aspect to the community center as well as developing, maintaining the website and the plans and stuff for it, because it's got its own stuff for calendars, I think the only thing it doesn't have yet is the point of sale thing.
Right.
But that's something that's still available to do.
Okay.
And that's a big thing. That website usually is a
Where
full-time
we
person.
get for the pool and for the golf course?
Yes, but this would be if they wanted to rent a community center.
Oh, the point of sale, but
Right,
yeah.
we wouldn't,
it's-
we don't have that.
It's small enough, and we can do that on paper, that's not.
I think this has kind of been my vision of the whole thing since we hired her too. I think about putting her in that office down there and having somebody down there is gonna be awesome, because, you know, not everybody driving through town is gonna know where the city hall is, even though we got signs up, but they're gonna see that, and that's, you know, they're gonna go there. But I'm like Murray, I like the ones he picked out there. I don't wanna overwhelm her, you know, if she can do some of it later on, wants to expand it.
Yeah.
Which I know Carla, she's gonna expand it, whether we tell her to or not.
Yeah.
But anyway, I like it.
Do you have any other questions for us on the community center?
No, we just needed some direction, and when people are calling and wanting to rent, so.
Okay.
Okay, new business. Council to discuss alignment apprenticeship program.
And there's a timeline on this too, right? Like yesterday or 2
Yes,
days ago?
that's why we have it tonight in the emergency meeting, because they're, what is the dates? Do you have the dates?
I don't have the date. I spoke to Mark Mustaine, I believe was his name, with MPUA. He is with the lineman apprenticeship program. He's one of the instructors. He said we've got till, if I'm not mistaken, April 1st to get him signed up. But that is, if he starts then, he's gonna be from January to then behind. They've already started.
Oh,
So the sooner we can get him in this program, the better off he'll be, because he won't be starting that far behind. So January is actually their enrollment month with a grace period. So.
so we can get him in and he can get caught up in there?
He can, yes, yes.
And that'd be great. The sooner he's caught up, the sooner we get alignment out of him.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, and I don't know, I've talked to most of you.
So we're looking at this as an 8-year contract?
Yes, total 8 years, and I have made him aware of this, and he is fine with it. You know, I told him that protects everybody involved, him going in and the city on the backside.
I've
So,
seen a schedule of payment or something. Is that just you looking at the after lineman training?
that way I had figured was after years of completion. So not so much just to sign up, but for him, you know, whoever goes in, as they complete a year of the training of the program, that's where that comes in.
Okay, because this agreement, as far as for reimbursement, so we're looking at a year after his lineman training is complete? Or are you looking at starting that from day one, so after he becomes a lineman, then he's not responsible for any repayment?
Which part are you looking at?
Look at page 2.
Yeah,
Give you a copy of this.
I believe it's what you said a second time.
I have
Okay,
extra.
so after he becomes a lineman, that's when this, so anything up to that would be 0. Okay,
Well,
then if that's the way that that's
He
me,
pays for anything up to that.
He'll pay for anything that he has,
Approved.
what we have spent on.
right, that's the
Yeah.
0%, so 100%. Okay,
Yeah.
That's-
and then-
that's
and
the
then
only thing.
once-
just making sure that
Yeah.
we're on the same page, that's
So
all.
once he has completed the 4 years,
Mhm.
then that's where the second part of the contract, the second half of that year contract comes in. And from that point on, it will be prorated out.
Okay. Good. Your questions?
And then, our payment schedule to the MPUA?
What I understand, it is, I'm assuming we pay out once per year. It's 3,000 per year is what the course is. With a 4-year course, a total of $12,000.
There are some things, I didn't get this in time to go through it in detail, but Deidre, I do have, just off the bat, there's a few things that, on the first page, number 1B, in the event employee elects not to complete the lineman training program, employees shall be released from employment from the city. Well, I don't like that, because if it's not his cup of tea and he wants to go over to the water department, I don't want to lose a good guy.
Yeah, we can change stuff like that. I just don't
You guys agree with
know
that?
much about the
And I figured there'd be
circumstances,
quite a bit of
so,
tweaking.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
So,
Yeah.
okay, so this is
Kind
a
of a-
contract.
Yeah.
Right, this is actually an
Kind of
amended
real
version
close.
of the police
Yeah,
cadet
really
program
cadet
one.
program.
Right, and then the CDL training one is
No.
also kind of a morph version of it, so I'm sure there will be a lot of stuff that you wanna tweak to make it more.
Yeah.
The main thing, is I was hoping that we could give a go-ahead to pursue this and get him signed
That's
up.
what we need a motion for.
I'd like to make a motion to authorize the mayor to pursue the lineman program and tweak the contract at ways that he sees necessary to retain this, that motion. How's that? That good enough?
And initiate the.
And initiate the program, yes. Okay, I'll start over. Make a motion,
I'm only drinking water.
make a motion
Uh-huh.
to grant the mayor,
To allow the mayor,
yes.
John Krzyzewski.
thanks, Lincoln, I couldn't have done it without you.
The ability
The
to
good-looking guy up there.
proceed with the lineman program,
He's got any praise to that.
Okay,
making changes to the contract.
okay.
And start as soon as possible. Is that good enough?
Good enough to me,
Are
I'll
you good
second
enough?
it.
Second it.
I think, yeah.
Okay.
Further discussion? Vote.
Aye.
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 Thank you.
Council to discuss lift station. Yeah, we do have problems with, whichever, that number 3 lift station. And I guess I should say, we did anticipate it when we were designing the other lift station recovery project. And we made last minute tweaks, et cetera, to save quite a bit of money, which we did at the time. And the 2 new pumps in the 2 lift stations that we had just completely redone, which we're really good on, no problem at all. That individual pump keeps up. So we can actually run those stations on one. We don't want to wear that pump out in 10 years, we want it to last 20 years. So we have 2 pumps alternating. So in the meantime, if we have an emergency at the other station, we can just grab one of those and it slides right in place. The other station was built by the same people, so they're all interchangeable, yes. So they're
That's where he was
interchangeable,
thinking of.
real easy. So we don't have any emergency problem when it comes up. We can fix it. Our fantastic water crew we've got, they know what to do, how to do it. They can pump it down with the truck and they can put it in, no problem. And robbing one from another station is not a problem. We have other options on the books, which include, if we get a grant that we're working on as well, we will gravity drain the first lift station, that's called what? That station? Burning Tree lift station, to
Country Meadows.
to Country Meadows. And by gravity, that means we'll have 2 brand-new high-tech, high-capacity pumps that we don't need in that first station. And they'll go into the 3rd station. And that's what our long-term plan is. And long-term could be 12 months. That's not really long. It'd be great, you know. But we can do it 5 years from now. It doesn't matter. We'll just get it done. In the meantime, we have a spare to go over, cross over. So we're out of the woods with the lift stations. We've got enough backups and we planned ahead. That's one of our proactive things that worked out real well. Sometimes it works. Any other questions on lift stations?
What's the distance that you were gonna do that?
Gravity feed,
Yeah.
I would have to pull it up on the map. It's a pretty good shot, but it's all, basically, according to what I heard, is all downhill from Burning Tree to Country Meadows. We know it all flows downhill, so it's a pretty good distance. I don't know as far as easements, what we would have to secure to get it through there. I don't know if that's already been done. I don't know on that. I'd have to pull it up on the map and see what the distance is.
Something we want to get into and try to do,
Yeah.
because that just alleviate a
I
lot.
think, yeah, if we could gravity feed that, it would save us so much headache. And then, like I said, we got 2 brand new pumps right there that will interchange with
the other two lift stations, and it would give us an extra pump as a backup. So, and there's not a whole lot of houses that drain into the Burning Tree lift station. So, I don't see it far-fetched at all. We gravity feed it, say, take an 8-inch line and take it southwest and dump it in, basically use that lift station that is currently there, or your pumps, and use it as a manhole, is what you essentially do. Just transfer it to whatever other lift station needs it.
Would there be any issues with all that if we have major flooding again?
I mean, you're always gonna have an issue with I&I, but I think you probably wouldn't have as much an issue, because major flooding, and all that tends to be underwater, but it really would be no different than a manhole being underwater at that point, because you don't have your computer controls there anymore. So they've been moved to your other lift stations wherever they're needed. So, really, it would just turn it into a really deep manhole.
And these new pumps we put in are higher horsepower, much more efficient impellers, and it'll handle a whole lot more flow. Not that we want to handle more I&I, but with our next improvements as we go, we're eliminating as much of the infiltration as possible. We're getting a handle on it. We're being proactive there as well, without spending money, just in-kind work. Our employees taking care of it. Our employees, especially in the water department, they have gotten themselves educated very fast in our entire system in the time they've been here. And they're very capable and willing. Can't answer more than that. Fantastic.
They didn't have a choice.
Yeah, jump right in and do it. They learn. Any other question on the lift station? Okay, council to discuss hiring practice. Questions have been brought up about who hires what and all this stuff. And who has a good, Eddie, do you have a good look at that as to how, who, what hires who around in City Hall and in the city? You could do that?
I can read
Okay, we'll go.
Absolutely.
You weren't ready for that.
Oh, yeah, let me step in, okay? Council as a whole has the authority and the ability, and we take that personal as far as the hiring and the firing that happens within the city. If it is a supervisor, it has to start, initiate, and be approved by the council. If it is not a supervisor, the mayor can go through and actually do a hiring process. Usually he gets with the supervisor of that area, and they can make a decision, but it still comes in front of council for review. The review that we do is to make sure that it corresponds with our ordinances, to make sure that we've got people that aren't in charge of other people that either aren't qualified, or as far as with nepotism or anything else that can be decided matter. From day-to-day operations, the day-to-day operations of the city still reports to the mayor, and as far as the operations manager. So those are the two people that we lean on as a council. And that should be pretty much it. If somebody comes in front of council that the council is related to, they will abstain from that vote because they can't go through and do that because of conflict of interest. Did that solidify pretty good? You think pretty good? That did everything? How did I do?
I think you did fine.
Thank you very much. And I got the approval as far as from the city attorney. That's all that I needed.
Madam Attorney, I have a question for you. So if I'm working under Lindo, and then I've been there for 3 years, that's just the number I threw out. I marry his sister. Is that nepotism?
So based on our ordinances, it is. So the actual, obviously none of the hirings were, but the way that we have it set it up makes it sound like probably somebody now needs to be under a different supervisor. That doesn't mean that they can't both work for the city, just somebody needs to be moved to a different supervisor, because it says two members of an immediate family shall not be employed under the same supervisor, which mean, it doesn't say that they won't be hired under the same one, it says they won't be employed under the same one.
Wow.
So, if that happens where people, get married, somebody would just need to be shifted to a different supervisor.
I can't believe that would interfere with someone's job.
Well, not really. If I'm getting this right, they could still keep their job, but they would just, instead of answering to me, he would have to answer to Eddie.
Right.
You'd have to change their position at their job.
No,
In
just
order
Or
to
just
supervise.
change the
In
supervisor.
order to
Just
get
for
this-
reference.
I mean, a lot of how much that's gonna interfere is gonna depend on what department it is. If you have another supervisor that they can report to just as easily as they're reporting to now, it's fine.
But if I had anything, then you'd have to deal with Eddie as far as a boss. I couldn't be the boss.
But then am I still working under you?
Yeah,
Or with.
No.
Or with.
You would be working with.
with.
Yes, not under.
Okay.
And that's also why we structured as far as for bringing up the operations manager, because he's the only supervisor other than the mayor that's over other supervisors. So that's why that position was so pivotal when we approached it and actually came up, because the only other supervisor who has, in fact, he's the only supervisor that has equivalent as far as for running of operations of the mayor, because your position is actually part-time. All other supervisors are on the same level, with Eddie and the mayor being one step above.
Anybody else, anybody have any questions on this? Uh-oh.
I have a scenario. I faced the same scenario in 2001 when I was employed at Willow Springs Police Department. My uncle Ray Perkins was the assistant chief and Danny Dunn was the police chief. And for me to be employed there, they had to go to the council and they had to pass that Danny Dunn was my only supervisor. I didn't answer to Ray. And then it was okay after that.
We could set that up as far as in the flow chart itself, and that was something too, because the day-to-day structures.
What befuddles me is if you've been working there for 20 years or whatever, just because you want to marry somebody else, you have to change your position or change your working relationship at work.
It's in the Missouri Constitution, so
Yeah.
you have to. You have to.
I'm wondering if there hasn't been case law where they turned that to where you can allow that if they've already been already been working there and then married after the fact.
I mean, I assume the idea is that if you get married after the fact, maybe your new spouse is more important to you than the job would be, but maybe that just depends on the person,
Yeah, my sister
That's-
comes with a half price.
Okay, does anybody have any questions about that hiring structure? Okay, mayor's minutes. I really, for emergency meeting, I'm not gonna sit here and gab away or anything. All I can do is I wanna thank everybody that's participated and helped through this last snowstorm. It worked out real good. I've gotten compliments on the phone. I've gotten nothing but compliments on the phone. People called me out of the blue, and business owners called me and said, I can't believe that this snow was cleaned up this well, this fast in this city. And I know it was our street department combined with everyone else kicking in, everybody driving, everybody has a CDL, everyone that handles a snow shovel. They did fantastic. It went so well, I could not ask for anything more than that. It did good. All the departments worked together. And when it comes to down lines, we had power lines, poles, etc. Electrical, well, I know the supervisor worked 24 hours straight. And he still managed. I think he's probably asleep right now. Nobody's called him out. But he managed well, and they did well. Everybody kicked in where it was needed, and we made it through real well. And luckily, we had power not turned off for our whole town, like our surrounding areas. But that's all I have.
those gentlemen in the back in their department, let's make sure to include those, because we've got a lot going on with that also. The police department itself, also the fire department, there's been several of wrecks and other things that they have had to go through and work, so I am glad, and just to reiterate what you said as far as with our city and the city workers, they have stepped up above and beyond, and you can definitely see the pride that they take. And also sanitation, we did see them go around, pick up trash, and this is not the time to be doing that, and stay warm, so.
I gotta admit, on one of the foot transformer possible fires we had, and it turned out to be a branch burning on it, the volunteers beat me there, and I wasn't a quarter mile away, I was around the corner. I thought, well, I'm gonna run over there, I was at the community center, I run over there, here's 3 of them already there, jumping out of their trucks, looking at flashlights, wow. And then next thing you know, the fire truck rolled up. Like, yeah, this is good, so yeah, this is good. And then I don't need to say too much about the police department, they've outdone themselves this week. I have witnessed firsthand excellent police work, excellent.
Maybe 2 of us have witnessed it.
Oh, yeah, there is another one, man. So my compliments to you guys, and keep up the good work, fantastic.
Thank you for doing all the legwork on the Alex stuff too,
Oh,
on the electric stuff, so.
hard my
It was
job.
not directed towards you, my concern, so,
No.
I appreciate you. It's not, that's the next word about the city.
Okay, does anyone have anything else? And evidently we're going into closed session. After a 2-minute recess.
Okay. Nope, I'm good, you good?
I'm good.
I make a motion that we adjourn to closed session pursuant to RSMO 610.021, subsection 13, subsection 3.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 So be it.